All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, the violence, the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right, and then you sincere sisters listening as well. I'm a brother Priest Shaman of GMS Great Millstone, Chicago. Excuse me. And diving right into it. It says Israel's historic missile test, a message to Iran Hezbollah allies. All right, today's warfare is not about hunting down terrorists in buildings or using tanks. It is also about confronting high-tech missiles and drones. Israel's Missile Defense Organization and the U.S. Missile Defense Agency have successfully completed an unprecedented historic test designed to confront multiple threats using a multi-tier system. Nothing like this has ever been reported to have been done before. It represents a response to the latest threats emerging in the region. The test comes in the wake of Iran using cruise missiles and drones to attack Saudi Arabia's oil facilities a year ago. That drone swarm attack was a chance for Iran to show off its capabilities. Reports also indicate Iran sent ballistic missiles to militias in Iran 2018 to 2019, and that it precision-guided munitions to Syria and to Hezbollah and Lebanon. And the thing about Esau is, they really believe that their kingdom is going to go on forever, right? Because they're able to track and they're able to keep an eye on these defense systems, and their defense systems is the best. But what they're not looking at, what they're not able to confound, is this word, above all. This is Jeremiah 5:14. It said, "Wherefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of hosts, excuse me, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them." And that's the ultimate devourer right there, the scriptures. All right. However, in a physical sense, they're going to be devoured too when they go against the Lord. All right, this is Psalms 18. I'm gonna start at because this is talking about when the Lord returns. As a matter of fact, start at verse 6. "In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried upon my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hill moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth. Devour coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet." And this is talking about the Lord's return. All right. Matter of fact, no, we got to read through this. We got to read through. "And he rode upon a cherub and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils." All right, so this is the Lord tearing shit up, coming back for his elect. "He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters." All right, "He delivered me from my strong," which this proves we're going to be delivered out of many different nations. All right, "He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me." All right, and that's the same that's been set up now, man. Esau has all this technology and all these things which are given to him by the Most High through the left hand, and through a physical sense. Our people have learned again and again and again, through physical sense that they can't take on Esau. All right, they can't take on Esau. You got your Grandmaster Jays, your Panthers, your whatever little street gang, think that they got some heat And then Esau, he comes into your neighborhood and shows you that real heat. All right, because just like Negroes would flash a AR, a rocket launcher. Maybe they were in the military. Whatever. But guess what? You think Esau don't have thousands of those? You think Esau don't have all that shit? You think Esau would let you, get a leg up on his blessing? The answer is no. It said, for they were too strong for me. And that's one thing. That's one of the parts of knowing who you are, man. You got to know that you can't save yourself, and that you need a power greater than you to save you, and that's how the Lord wanted it. All right. So they prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay, and that's where we're in now, man. The time of Jacob, the early time of Jacob's trouble, and the day of our calamity. All right. And I had, let's see, what was that at? Yep, Hebrews 11:32. All right, because this is what people want to see, man. They want to see the spiritual power, which people are going to get spiritual power. All right, but the ultimate thing that we're supposed to have is faith on the Lord. That's how you know you're not supposed to be taking any, injections or anything in you that's unlawful, any nano machines and none of that shit. It said, and what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and of Barak and of Samson and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets. All right. It said, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to flight the armies of aliens. So they did all these great works, but it says, who through faith, right? And that's through everything, man. Through whether you take, whatever medicine from the earth, whether you're going through something, whatever illness, sickness, right? Ultimately, it's through faith. Now, the Lord has cures of certain things, but guess what? They're not going to come from Esau like that. Now, Esau knows about the medicines of the earth. If you want a book on it, go to his neighborhood. Go to a bookstore, a thrift store. Guess what? You're going to find books on it for cheap. I know because I did it, which is how I know Esau knows about all the cures and stuff. They took all that stuff from us. All that stuff they got from us, man. Jacob is the form of all things, man. Don't underestimate, who the Lord has chosen us to be. All right, it says, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to flight the armies of aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. And it was a time where we did turn to to flight these different armies. All right, but now we're not in that time, man. The Lord is going to deliver us out. He's going to come down. He's going to raise hell. The angels are going to raise up hell. All right. Like I said, you have brothers who are going to receive spiritual power. They're going to raise hell. Even some of our people, before they go out, they're going to raise hell. But ultimately, it's the Lord and his army that's going to conquer everything, and is going to beam us up. All right. And that's when you're going to get those new bodies. All right. So it's all the Lord, man. And we're seeing that now, man. Esau, they're trying to formulate their little plot and plan, and even now there are holes in it. It's sloppy. Right? You got people, their faces getting frozen. Of course the N-Dub, who we've rebuked so sharply and who we get the most feedback from when we go into those lessons. Of course, she's the first one to take it and then get fucking cerebral palsy and shit. We told you, all right. We didn't say it just for out of our own mouths, but out of the mouth of the Lord. We told you, and we gave you scriptures to back it up. All right. So now it's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to life or death. And we're seeing who's right and who's wrong, man. It's been a game up to this point for a lot of these people. All right. Which for us, like I said, it was never a game. This was always the truth, the 100% truth. All right. It says. And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented. So, it gives you a contrast, man, for all the mighty works of the different prophets. And then, like you said, man, others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, right? So this truth has been sweet and it's been bitter. But they had to go through that, for us to get to the end. It said they were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. They didn't get the promised land. All right, the Most High having provided some better things for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. And, you think about that, man, all the different trials, tribulations, men had to prophesy naked, cows done all the stuff they had to go through, and they didn't receive the promise of the kingdom. All right, and that's what we're looking forward to, man. Looking forward to that promise. All right, we can see it on the horizon. All right, I'm going to wrap it up with this one, Hebrews 11 and 13. These all died in faith. So there's that faith again, man. They have faith even though they didn't even see it. All right, you have people who haven't even seen the kingdom who have had faith to do all these crazy, all through these trials and stuff. Then you have people who actually saw the spiritual works of the Lord and still didn't believe. All right, now we're separating the believers and the non-believers for real, for real. All right, it said, but having seen them afar off and were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. All right, and that's where we're at right now, man. We're those pilgrims, waiting to go home. All right, so call hello, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. All right, this man, they can see it. They're trying everything in their power to come up with defenses, to come up with plans and counter plans, and should we give them this much for the stimulus, that much? Because they don't know, man. They don't have the faith. They don't have a faith of things to come. All right, everything with Esau is carnal, and it's going to continue to be carnal until the Lord, shows them the ultimate form of that, as we read, in some of the first couple of chapters. All right. Hey, so Lord willing, this is a faith booster for you brothers and sisters out there. Shalom, a Bible ball.